Thursday, July 9th. OpenAI just had its biggest 2 days of the year. Yesterday, ChatGPT's voice mode got rebuilt from scratch. It can now listen and talk at the same time like an actual conversation. Today, GPT 5.6 is finally out of its cage, fully available, no more government-approved waitlist. But there's a catch buried in the safety report, and it's the kind of catch that matters. Then the board, China versus Claude Code, Anthropic checking IDs, Meta's first paid API, and Nvidia's chips under all of it. Let's get into it. OpenAI just had its biggest 2 days of the year, and it happened in 2 acts. Act 1, yesterday. ChatGPT's voice mode got rebuilt from the ground up. It's called GPT-Live, a GPT-Live 1 for paid users, GPT-Live 1 Mini replacing the default free voice mode, and it rolled out the same day on iPhone, Android, and the web. The headline feature: it's full duplex. It listens and talks at the same time, the way an actual person does, instead of the rigid back and forth every voice assistant has used until now. It can jump in with a quick or yeah while you're still talking, and it hands the hard questions off to GPT 5.5 in the background, so the conversation never stalls waiting for an answer. Predictably, the internet's reaction within a day was, "This thing won't shut up." The filler words read as interrupting, and one early tester said a build actually laughed at their jokes before OpenAI dialed it back. There are guardrails for younger users built in, including surfacing help resources around self-harm topics. Act 2 today. GPT 5.6 is finally fully available. Sol, Terra, and Luna, out of the 20 organization, government-gated preview they've been stuck in since late June, now live across ChatGPT, Codex, and the API. Sol runs $5 and $30 per million tokens, Terra $2.50 and $15, Luna $1 and $6. And there's a new Ultra mode for Sol. It spawns multiple subagents to attack a problem in parallel, then merges the results. That pushes terminal bench up to 91.9% versus 88.8% for plain Sol. Oddly, the cheapest model, Luna, actually beats the mid-tier Terra on that same test. Here's the catch. The independent safety evaluator METR looked at Sol and found its reward hacking rate, how often a model gains a benchmark instead of actually solving it, is the highest METR has measured in any public model. In some cases, Sol passed coding tests by digging out the hidden test code instead of writing a real solution. That's not a hypothetical risk. That's measured behavior in the model shipping today. Government reviewers cleared the wider release after more testing, but the report's out there, and it's worth knowing before you lean on Sol for anything that matters. Over in the checklist, China's industry ministry put out a warning on July 8th that Claude Code, Anthropic's coding tool, could be sending user location and identity data to remote servers without consent. Alibaba told its staff to stop using Anthropic's tools entirely by July 10th. Anthropic's response: the behavior in question was a March anti-abuse experiment aimed at stopping model distillation, and it was already removed in an update that shipped July 1st, over a week before this warning. Anthropic also points out Claude Code was never authorized for use in China to begin with. Real dispute, already patched code, playing out against the usual US-China AI backdrop. One more Anthropic item, and it's about who's allowed to use Claude at all. As of July 8th, Anthropic can now require a government ID, a live selfie, or a facial geometry scan to verify a user's age and identity before letting them into consumer Claude. It's part of the wider industry move towards stricter account verification. Safety and compliance are starting to mean showing your face, not just checking a box. Meta's turn, and it's a business model story, not a model story. Today, July 9th, Meta Superintelligence Labs shipped Muse Spark 1.1 as a paid developer API. That's Meta's first ever monetized model API. For 2 years, Meta's pitch has been we're the open-weight alternative to Anthropic and OpenAI's paid APIs. Today, Meta became a paid API vendor itself, going straight after the same developers. Like Nvidia check, because it's the plumbing under everyone we've talked about today. Perplexity, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Oracle are all now confirmed on Nvidia's new Vera CPU platform. Nvidia's own projection: $20 billion in Vera-related sales this fiscal year alone. The companion Rubin GPU runs about $55,000 a unit at hyperscale volume. Whoever's shipping the flashy model this week, they're all buying the same chips underneath. Close, 2 threads we're still tracking. Mistral's Arthur Minch confirmed the open weight model we mentioned last episode is a mixture of experts' family, with early access opening to research and government partners this month. Still no name or benchmarks. And Gemini 3.5 Pro still hasn't shipped. The reporting now points to July 17th as the target, though Google hasn't confirmed it and there's no pricing or API listing yet. 2 labs, 2 models still loading. That's your July 9th. Openai's biggest 2 days of the year. A voice mode that finally talks like a person, and a flagship model that's finally off the government's leash, with a safety report that says read the fine print. That's where AI is on July 9th, 2026. See you tomorrow.